and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the city of Nerdshire. Things are going pretty well. We've got over $1 million. We've got nearly 24,000 people living here, and for me personally, I'm just having a good day because I'm using a new headset, which has a microphone on it, and I thought, hey, what better way to test a microphone than to jump in at the deep end and record a video with it literally 10 minutes after it was delivered. So, yay, this might end badly. It sounds pretty good. I've tested it a little bit. It's a headset, it's like a broadcast quality. It's used by the NFL and a lot of, like, I think the Halo Championship League or whatever uses, I don't know. It's used in a lot of esports broadcasts, and I thought it looked kind of cool, and I wanted one mostly for live streaming, to be honest, but I mean, hey, if I can use it in videos as well, then from time to time, I might, if it sounds about the same as my other one, so we'll see. What do you think? Let me know at the end of the video. Either way, today I would like to go ahead and deal with some of the garbage problems that we're having, because that's starting to kill people. Basically, we need to tell these guys to stop emptying that landfill, we need to turn it off, and we need to let my garbage trucks go about their business of collecting garbage in this city. I've also gone ahead and filled up all of the empty space that we had, and I've also moved my water pumps back to here because over this way they were having some trouble. They were getting, the water was getting very shallow around the pumps over here, which wasn't necessarily ideal. So, we've changed it up, we put them here, and they're working as intended. Like I said, I went ahead and filled up Spruce Hills again, and I also filled up this space down here, and I think to begin today, we'll go ahead and start filling up the rest of this space with some roads. What I'm actually going to do, though, is throw in a bit of a diagonal road. And I know what you're thinking. Whoa! Settle down! Diagonal roads? What's this? I thought this city was nothing but grids. Yeah. Well, it's not. We are we are going to get a bit of a diagonal road going in here, because I think it's going to do some good stuff for us. So we'll have that road come down to there. We are going to have to throw a little bit of a curve in here, which, I mean, diagonal roads, curves, man, we're going in at the deep end today. So a bit of a curve there. Could technically do the same there as well if we wanted to, although I'm wondering if I could just, you know, connect that straight up. Possibly? Yeah, there we go, that's a bit better. I don't like that I can't connect this one with, like, a straight bit of road. That's a bit of a pain. Or maybe I can. Can I? Oh. You know what? No, I can't. It doesn't really go straight in. Alright, we'll not bother with that. We'll just do a, Man, I wish that connected properly. I really wish that connected properly. It would look so much better, but I'm just not gonna be able to get it to work, so we'll bring this road into there. We'll bring this road down to it there. And we'll do a little slight curve there. I think that looks alright. So that's going to be putting some buildings alongside the highway, which I'm kind of keen for. I do want to get buildings up against the highway because it makes it look much, much better. This is going to extend to it there. Weird thing going on there with the zoning. I wonder if I could fix that if I was to do that kind of thing. Yeah, there we go. Much better. So we can get some buildings done alongside the highway. And we can get some buildings done here as well. I think I would like to bring a couple more buildings down, just a little bit. To about there, and to about there as well. And maybe down from there as well, just like that. So that'll let us get a bunch of stuff all around the highway, making it look that little bit more dense, which is what we're going for. As for this space in here, I mean, we could do this. We could do some roads going vertically. And to be honest, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go for some vertical roads, and we'll make it look all interesting-like. So those roads can go there. These ones might have trouble connecting, though, so what we might do is turn that one to the right there. This one can come down and can't go straight in either, so it's going to go to the right. And this one is going to do a very similar thing. It's going to come down to about there and to the right. If I really wanted to, I could technically connect those, but I could do that as well, actually. And that. I mean, it's a little bit messy, but to be honest, I don't mind it that much. I think it looks alright. That's some pretty dense zoning we got there, so let's, you know, in the spirit of today's episode, which is apparently the phrase jumping in at the deep end, because I've said it 3 times now, in the spirit of jumping in at the deep end, we'll just go for as much dense zoning as we can get, and we'll see how things go. So let's run a pipe straight down there and across like so. Then back up this road and down there as well. And that should be everything. Oh, this little bit needs some water too. So we'll get that hooked up, and that is that entire area now serviced with some water, which is exactly what I want to be seeing. So let's go ahead and get some offices in there. I'm thinking we do some strips of office work done there. Just like that. And I think we'll do some offices on sort of all of the diagonal bits. So just all of that and all that can be offices too. Because I think, you know, they're smaller buildings. They're going to look kind of interesting. So we'll get some offices in there. That's going to get rid of a lot of the industrial demand that we have. Hopefully going to see a little bit of commercial demand pop up, but I am not too sure. A lot of sick people. Are we having... Oh, yeah, we are having issues with healthcare. The coverage leaves a lot to be desired, and to be honest, I think we're making enough money to get a hospital. I mean, I say I think. We are making enough money to get a hospital. So, let me bulldoze these buildings here. Just every single one of them. And let me throw a hospital, apparently there. I didn't actually mean to click there. But sure. Why not? We'll put a hospital there. I kind of wanted to get some of my parking lots in here, to be honest. I thought that would look kind of cool, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I mean, I can get one there and one there. I can get one there and there and there, I guess. I mean, I guess that works. That's not so bad. We'll throw some pedestrian paths through this space a little bit. Like that. And yeah, that looks like a good old hospital. We'll just leave it as is. That's going to cost us a lot of money per month, but I do think having a proper hospital here is going to be a really good thing. That's hopefully going to make people a lot happier in terms of healthcare. Healing capacity is up to 700, so yeah, that's going to do amazing stuff for us. In terms of fire coverage, leaves a little bit to be desired. I think I might throw a fire station just there, perhaps. And for policing, very similar story. This new area down here is lacking a little bit, so let's get ourselves a new police station. We'll throw it just there. And again, that should give some pretty good coverage to the new area, which is what I'm hoping. As for over here, definitely some issues with traffic coming, well, not out of the city as much as from up here to the industrial zone. So, I mean, more public transport back and forth could be a really good idea, but what I'm thinking is that we haven't used this cargo train terminal yet. And we probably should get around to doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 20 units that way and 20 units that way. We're going to go 20 units that way and 20 units that way. We're going to bring a road across like that. And we're going to bring some roads sort of done like this as well, just to make this kind of look interesting, I suppose. But we're going to bring some roads down and around like that. We're going to then bring the train lines sort of straight through this area at some point. But what I also want to do is leave a reasonable enough gap so we can actually get the train line to properly go across the roads here. So if we were to go like this, the train line currently can't go there because there's a pillar in the way, but that's fine. So the train line is going to cut straight through all of this. I know that leaves very little zoning on one side of the road there, but I don't mind that too much. I think that could look kind of interesting. We'll go 10 units there, then we'll go 10 units there as well. As for the highways, bulldoze them a little bit more because they were floating there, which was a bit odd. So bulldoze those a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and bring this straight through to that point and bring you straight through to that point. And no problem whatsoever. We have ourselves a train line. Now, I do really like the idea of throwing a proper train line into this industrial area here. But it might make more sense to try and squeeze it in somewhere else. I don't really know where that somewhere else would be. But one of the biggest issues with the city is that we don't have a train connection to get goods to all of the commercial premises. That's the problem that we're having here, is that people can't they have to, you know, use trucks and vans and all that stuff. With that said, I think honestly it is just going to be easier to throw a cargo train station in there or something and do things that way. You know, I do think I can technically fit it in there. Yeah, I actually can place that, but I don't think the trains would actually work. Can I get one in there? No, what's that? What's that in the way? It's just that's just a building that's on fire. Okay. I think we're gonna try something a bit dumb here. Basically, once that building's not on fire anymore, so congratulations, you survived the fire, buddy. You are not gonna survive that. Right, so that gives them a cargo train connection. Ideally, I would have that train connection go over the roads here, but that seems a bit steep. That does seem a little bit steep. I also don't like that that's gonna be a, you know, the more I look at that, the more I don't like it. Let's put it over here, sort of properly out of the way. So there. And what we want to do is we want to bring the train line down across the dirt road and I guess straight across that avenue as well, which is going to be particularly interesting. I've also had, I don't know if someone tweeted me or if someone commented or what it was, but someone informed me that dirt roads apparently have a bridge now. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to test that in a second though, because that's something I've been wanting in the game for a while. Not really for any real reason, I just kind of wanted one. Do dirt roads now have a bridge? Is my question. Let me find a nice, like, clear area. There isn't really a clear area, forget it. Oh, they do! Oh! And it's a proper, like, rickety old wooden bridge as well, with some fairly sturdy... That's beautiful, man! That is actually beautiful. Okay, no, that is really cool. Have they done the same with the dirt pedestrian paths? Let's find out. No, they haven't. Oh, that's a shame. You could have went for some really nice wooden footbridges there, but apparently that's not what's happening. Man, that's a shame. That would have looked really nice, those wooden footbridges. Just throwing it out there. Would have looked real good. So we need to get to 30,000 people to buy another tile here. It's these ones we want over here. This one here preferably, because that'll let us bring a train connection straight through here and to the industrial zone to get some cargo from the region. But I guess we'll see if the trains actually get any use at all. Oh, there's one. How much stuff have you got? 13%. That's not much, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Let's go ahead then and throw some industrial zoning in over here. What I might do, though, first is actually bring another little road along here. Just to fill up the zoning and have it against the road. I know that's unnecessary. I know that's a bit of a teeny tiny little weenie road there, but I don't mind that too much. Like, if we were to do that and that, it just fills up the space, you know? As for over here, I mean, it's a lot simpler here. We're just going to bring the roads straight down and through. So that would go to there, there, and there. Actually, let's just do it in the same way we've done it up here. So down like so. Down like so. And we'll leave some gaps there. As for over here, I am just going to bulldoze those roads because they are completely unnecessary and a little bit silly looking. And we'll throw in some industrial zoning along there. And I'll also fill up the space alongside the train tracks there because I think that's going to look really nice. I know it's going to be a bunch of tiny, tiny little buildings, but they're going to be like this. It's going to be like tanks and stuff. So it's actually going to look pretty cool alongside the train tracks. So I'm kind of excited for that. Kind of curious to see how it turns out. I am noticing a little bit of residential zoning popping up there, which is good news. The bad news is that people are still dying left, right, and center, mostly from the pollution, probably caused by a mix of dead bodies and garbage. I imagine the dead bodies are probably caused by the garbage. So that's a bit of a problem. The fact that the bodies aren't being collected as well, also a bit of a problem. People are sat around going, oh, she's been dead for 3 weeks. Throw her out in the garden. She's stinking the place up. Get her out of here. That's that's what someone from Nerdshire sounds like, by the way. Literally every citizen sounds like, they sound a bit like this, basically. This is the accent of someone from Nerdshire. Alright? They all sound like this. Let's get some crematoriums done this way, I think. We'll throw one at that corner there. And I'll throw one into that corner as well, I think. We don't actually have that many crematoriums, to be honest. Like, the availability is fine, and the coverage is also fine. There's just not that many. Well, actually, that's a classic City Skylines problem, to be honest. You can have the availability for, 420 corpses or whatever, but you don't have the number of hearses needed to process all of those bodies. It's a weird thing, especially when death waves work like this. It's very, very strange. I will say, super nice to see cargo trains going back and forth here, though. Traffic is not any lighter, if I'm being honest. Traffic is about as bad as it has been. So that's not ideal. Yeah, that's really not ideal. We're really struggling with this. It is mostly garbage trucks, this traffic. It is mostly garbage trucks. I think districts are going to have to be a thing. I think we're going to have to set some districts properly. Well, we do have districts. I don't know why I'm saying we need them. We have the old-time policy on this, but what I'm going to do... I guess what I meant was, I want to extend Sunset Heights down to this road. I wasn't really keen on this idea before because, well, I mean... I don't know if it's a great idea, but I'm going to do it because if traffic is going into Sunset Heights... and it's going from the industrial zone, then it kind of makes sense to let it not have, not force it onto the highway, I think. Because, the industrial zones here are quite close together. I think it's maybe a little bit unnecessary to force it around the way I have been doing, and hopefully this will lighten the load on the highway just a little bit. We'll see. But what we will need to do, obviously, like I said, is extend the district down a little bit. Yeah, I think the district is just going to be extended. I was considering doing a second district for this, but I think we'll just have this whole thing as Sunset Heights. I think that entire avenue there might stay as Sunset Heights. Maybe, nah. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest, but we'll do that. So that might do some good stuff. Oh, power. Totally forgot about power. Let me just run power alongside the train line. That could look kind of fun. And by kind of fun, my definition of fun is apparently very interesting. Let me turn off the road guidelines for a second, so I can just sort of curve this around a little bit. Bulldoze that. Bulldoze that. So that's going to connect to there. And that's going to connect to there. Yeah, that looks alright. So that should give those guys electricity again, which it does. A lot of traffic moving up. Actually, it's trying to move around at the moment, which is interesting. We should see that stop, though. Once the traffic decides that, hey, we're actually going to Sunset Heights, it really shouldn't be too much of an issue. Some of the traffic is moving up and down, which is good to see. I think what I'm going to do is I might turn this into a one-way road going up and that one going down. Could be an idea. I think what I'll do instead, though, is asymmetric roads. So these ones are going to go sort of up like that. And these ones can come down like that. That can also be turned into an asymmetric road. So that'll hopefully, like I said, lighten the load a little bit. We'll see how that goes. I don't really want to extend industrial zoning into here. That's not really my plan. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's get this residential demand out of the way, because I want to see if we can really make a push for 30,000 people today. Because we do need 30,000 people for the next tile, and I really would like to get that, to be honest. I've also discovered that monorails are not as much of an issue as I said that they were. I mentioned that monorails started killing my population. That might not have been accurate, because I have another city that I'm playing on the live stream at the moment. By the way, if any of you turned out to the live stream the other day on City Skylines, I believe it was, what, Thursday the 18th of May? We started Sub-City, which is a city where all the roads are going to be named after subscribers on Twitch, or donators on Twitch, either or. We started that, we streamed for about 6.5 hours, we built a really cool thing, and we used a lot of monorails and a lot of trams, and people didn't die. So, that was interesting. And you might be wondering, well, why do people die? Well, if you don't know, I think it was last episode, it might have been the one before that I mentioned that my monorails seem to be killing people. But I think that might have been more to do with the fact that there was just an imminent death wave at the time. It might have just been really bad timing. Either way, it seems like we need more incineration plants. So what I'm going to do is get more of them, basically. We'll throw them behind the power plant like that. So now we have 8 of them. 8 incineration plants. That's more than enough to deal with the garbage in the city. That's a lot of garbage trucks going to be heading to the city, though, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that. Definitely going to have to keep an eye out for that. I'm wondering, you know what I'm realizing? This road needs to be in Sunset Heights. The reason being that I think what's going on here is the traffic coming from the northern part of Sunset Heights gets onto this avenue and it's going into this industrial zone. And what it's doing, oh, I realize this road here needs to not be in that as well. Although that did seem to help, but that shouldn't be like that. What it might be doing is trying to go from like here to over here. But it gets to this avenue and it can't go through this area because technically it's not going to somewhere in the district. So if that's all a part of the district, then that should change that little fact there. So we'll see how that goes. That might encourage more traffic to come down. We will probably see a lot more traffic back up in this road because the Old Town policy is not on that road anymore, but that's actually kind of okay. I'm not too concerned about that. Honestly, what I'm most concerned about is the giant amount of death and garbage across the city right now. There's a lot of death, there's a lot of garbage, a lot of it's not being dealt with. It's a pretty major problem. Even down here in this new area, death and garbage are running rampant at the moment. But you know, that's fine, let's get more people. That's how we're gonna do things. Oh, death and garbage, whatever, come on in, everybody. Let's get everybody into this. Oh, wow, that backed up quickly. Ah, wow, okay. That was unexpected. I mean, that's a lie. I completely expected this to happen, but that was... that backed up quicker than I thought it would. You know what? I'm gonna put the Old Town policy back on, back on this road. We're gonna force people back out onto the highway for the time. This road doesn't work, is what I'm saying. This road here does not work. Also, that's all garbage trucks right there. Oh my god. Yeah, so it looks like most of the garbage has been collected, which is what we wanted. Unfortunately, that garbage is never going to make it to an incineration plant because it has some traffic problems that are stopping that from happening. I do reckon, though, forcing the traffic back out to this cloverleaf is actually going to help it, because it means that some of it will decide to go this way into the city, rather than all of it sort of congregating around this section of highway. So we should see some good stuff there. What I'll do is I'll throw a little bit of office zoning in here, because I think that's going to be nice to get some new office zoning in here, especially next to a fairly busy and major road. We'll get it all along there and make that area look all nice and stuff. They might also want some water. I know people in offices happen to like tea. I know when I ran this channel out of an office, tea was a beautiful, beautiful thing. There was a really nice coffee machine in that building. I tell this story, not specifically about the coffee, but I tell the story of me running this channel out of an office quite frequently. So I hope you're ready to hear this story every now and then. But I ran this channel out of an office, and I rented 2 offices in the building, and the main lobby had a coffee machine, and it was like, yo, just put like 50p in the jar if you're taking a coffee, and that's all cool. They had French vanilla coffee. Oh, it was so good. So good. They also had English breakfast tea that you can make in the machine as well. That's how I discovered that I happen to really like English breakfast tea. It's really good stuff. And that's pretty much all I drink these days is English breakfast tea. So, yeah, that's a fun fact about me. Big fan of English breakfast tea, in case you were curious. So yeah, if you ever happen to meet me and you're like, yo, can I get you a drink? It'll be English breakfast tea, bit of milk, a lot of sugar, like 2 spoonfuls, or 2 ladles of sugar, and yeah, we're good. We're gonna have a chat over some tea. You know, that's actually quite accurate. I've met a couple of people that, you know, that know me from the internet at Simmer's meetup in 2016. I met a couple of fans in Belfast earlier in 2017. I met a couple of people at the Planet Coaster event, and all really nice people, but all of them ask the same thing. Can I get you a drink? And when I don't drink often, and I make a point of not really drinking when I'm traveling, because I don't want to like wake up the next, because when I'm traveling, I usually travel for a day. When it was Planet Coaster, it was, you know, I was there that morning, I did the event that night, I went home the next morning. I was at a Halo Wars 2 preview event earlier in 2017, I was there that day, did the event, went home the next day. Any other events I do, there that day, home the next day. So if I do go out that evening, I never drink, because I don't want to risk missing my taxi to the airport or missing my flight or anything. So it's always like, can I get you a drink? Yeah, you can get me a Red Bull, you can get me a tea, a Coke, or if we're going to push it, I'll take 1 Smirnoff Ice because it's delicious. People like to poke fun at the fact that I happen to be a big fan of what people consider to be girly drinks. Well, if it's a girly drink, it's a delicious girly drink, all right? That's my view on Smirnoff Ice, just in case you were curious, or if you ever thought about buying me a drink. Anyway, this whole area is pretty much full at the moment, which is really cool looking. I think I want to try and expand the industrial area a little bit more. Oh, wow, you guys are having water problems? Oh, we are? Nah, no, we're not having water problems. We're just having pipe problems. Gotta get some pipes in here to solve that issue. And that looks really cool with all those tiny little buildings along there. I'm a big fan of that. Really, really big fan of that. Quite happy with it. Let me throw more industrial stuff in here just to fill all of that up. As for over here, I don't know what this will be currently. I'll tell you what I would like to do. I want to slowly move industrial zoning out of here. I'm going to move all the low density stuff out of there and just get it out. We'll probably turn this area into like a high density commercial zone since it has a train station right there. Maybe we'll surround the train station in offices or something to kind of hide it a little bit. I don't think I want any industrial zoning on the right-hand side. Looking at it this way, on technically the east hand side, really? On the east side of the train tracks. So what we'll do is try and cram a bunch of industrial zoning in here. At some point, I'm going to put a key around that entire lake as well. But not for a while. I tested doing it in between episodes, and it just really, really did not work. It looked like a bit of a mess, if we're being honest here. So we'll see what gets done with that. I think, you know what? I'm going to remove all of that industrial zoning. We're going to make a move to get as much pollution out of here as we can. We'll bring down some offices like that. And I think I'm also going to get rid of these houses, because that's going to be an interesting area to live. Although what I will do, actually, is put some people, let some people live in between those offices, because I do like doing that. I like having the residential spaces surrounded by shops or, you know, places for them to work or whatever. I like doing that. So this could be, that could be a nice little thing there. We'll put more offices along the avenue there. We'll have some offices sort of surrounding the Blimp stop as well. I do want to play with the blimps a little bit more. I really want to play with the blimps a little bit more. I just haven't really got the, I haven't really got the opportunity to do it yet, because obviously the city is, I mean, it's not big enough to really warrant, blimps as the, like, primary form of transport, so. Yeah, we might be waiting a little bit on that one. We'll see, though. If we get something to build in there, we would have a power connection right there. Let's just do that, though, so everybody has actually got electricity. Right, so that's shut all of them up and stopped their complaints. We actually don't have much demand for anything down here. We're also not making anywhere near as much money as we once were, but that's kind of to be expected when you tear out a whole area. But it's redevelopment, so it's important that we tear out that area. Very, very important. Also interesting to note that this road is still having issues. Most of that is traffic that is heading to, well, actually, a lot of it's going through there. Did we remove the zoning on that road? We did not. That's still got the old town policy. Why are you guys going through there? They shouldn't be doing that, but they are doing that. The rebel scum. Not a big fan of the fact that they're doing that, but whatever. Let's get a little fire station in here. Let me throw it. There's a fire station there already. Let me throw the fire station, like, there? We'll put it there. Right on the corner. Hopefully gonna give us some good coverage. I think once the pollution's gone from in here, we can go ahead and start putting more stuff in. But I do want to look at blimps, man. I really, really enjoy the blimps. I also really enjoy monorails, so that's tempting. That is really tempting. The monorail station, 240 per week, 15,000 each. The one with the road is 20,000 and 320 per week. It's so tempting to try throwing some monorails in here. I could even do trams temporarily, but man, monorails, you know? It's like, we got the monorails. I want to use the monorails. I really, really do want to use them. You know, I think I can see a thing I can do here. This road here that I'm sort of mousing over that goes alongside the avenue, the highway, we could totally turn that into a road, an avenue with monorail tracks above it. Then this whole one up here could be monorail tracks. Then this one could be turned into an avenue with monorail tracks. This one as well, although that is a fairly busy road. And this one. And if we really want to do that one as well, I mean, if I wanted monorail stops just on these avenues, I can just run monorail tracks along, along the single roads, like the 2-unit wide roads, but I don't know if I want that. I don't know if that's a thing I want to do, because it would mean that we only have a stop like here, 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 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops. And it would just have to kind of wind around like this. Although it could do like a figure 8 going back up. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just throw the monorails in like that. It would mean redesigning some of the layouts of this, though. These layouts aren't going to lend themselves to it all that well. This one will. But, well, that one might as well. I don't know. I think I'll leave monorails until next time, just to be on the safe side. I think that's going to be for the best. Also going to throw some offices in there just to block off the train station thing there. Bring some offices through there as well. There we go. And maybe up to about there as well. So yeah, I don't know. Monorails are a tricky one. They're a really, really tricky one. We don't have enough sewage treatment, do we? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bulldoze these guys. And we're going to throw in some proper sewage treatment here in the hopes that we can start to repair the damage we've done to this lake. So these guys are going to go over here, and by start to repair the damage, I mean we're still going to pollute the lake. Just, you know, not as... The pollution's not as severe as the pollution that was once going into it. So, you know, we're nice like that. If we really wanted to, I mean, we could... Nah, we ain't got nothing here that's actually going to treat the sewage. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. Yeah, you can sort of see that water is slightly lighter than the other water. So, you know, we might be okay with that. I'll tell you what we're going to do then to wrap today's episode up. We're going to go ahead and get this guy back to being emptied. It's only 7% full, so it's not going to take that long to empty it out. We still have some demand for industrial/office zoning, so I think what I might do is actually go ahead and upgrade a lot of this entire stretch of road to be avenues, possibly. Because we could push the zoning a little closer to the train tracks, and I do like the idea of doing that. Let's just go for the large avenue with grass. So that it's the size of an avenue, but it doesn't have the same lanes as an avenue. I also love the look of the bus stop on that. That's really nice. So yeah, it's the size of an avenue, doesn't have the lanes of an avenue, meaning it might, you know, we might need to upgrade it at some point, but it means, you know, it's upgradable into an avenue should we need it to be one. Which is kind of the important thing. We could do the same with this one, and to be honest, I think I will. Because I could very quickly see this area becoming very, very busy. And it would be good to get that upgraded at some point. So we'll get a bunch of offices along there, get a bunch of offices over there, get a bunch of offices along the avenues, as we tend to do. And the heart of this area is most likely going to end up being houses. And I'm okay with that. I like that we're doing this whole thing where we surround houses with, well, apartments in this case, with offices or with whatever. And I like that there's a lot of offices on this side. Because, you know, we went from filthy, filthy industry to some offices, and that's cool to me. I'll tell you what, though, I want to fill up that space and that space with more industry. And all of these spaces here, too. Like, I'm not opposed to filthy, filthy industry at the moment. I will be someday, because eventually oh, hello. Oh my god, we're a capital city! I wasn't even paying attention! Oh, that's cool. We got the cargo harbor, we got the harbor. I mean, that stuff's useless, but sure. That's literally no good. I don't think. Where would I get a harbor in here? So the connection is out there. So technically I could, actually. Technically I can get a harbor up there. Not that I'd want one. Not that I'd want a harbor up there, but technically that is a thing I can do. Right. Tell you what we're going to do then, before we wrap things up. We are going to buy that tile. And we are going to bring a train track over. And it's going to come in fairly close to the edge of the map. So that's going to be tricky. But we'll get it to work. So I want it to go, I want the road guidelines back on. And I want this train line to go pretty much like this, all right? So pretty much right along there, which means we're going to have to do some degree of sorcery to actually get this thing to line up really nicely. So that's going to go like that. And then I want it to curve around like that. And then it's going to curve back and over to that bit in a second. But what we're also going to do is we are going to line this up and we're going to slightly curve it to there. And then in a little bit like that. Then this one's going to do the same thing, 10 units and 10 units. This is going to be bulldozed a little bit. And what we're going to do is go 10 and 10. Then this is going to go 5. And then 10 and 10. Because what I think I can do is I can get those to line up quite nicely. So they come in like that. They don't quite line up all that well, but I can make it work. I should then be able to do that. And then have this guy come in a very similar manner. Hopefully. So curve around like that and then merge there. Bit of a steep merge if we're being honest. Could I get that to work any better? I reckon I could. I reckon if we do that, that looks quite cool. And then this one can just sort of run straight into it. Sort of like that. Yeah, that looks a bit better. I know that's unnecessarily messy and all that. And I know I could do that in such a neater way, but for the time being, I mean, I think we'll leave it as is. No, we won't. No, we won't. Let's get it properly done. So, no, we'll leave it. Well, I'll change it between episodes, or I will come back to it early next episode. But I cannot be bothered changing it right now. So bring that up to... Actually, go back a little bit. Lower the heights, and bring this up to 6 units. Bring that up to 12 units. Then bring it straight across. To there. And that's gonna have trouble going there, isn't it? Oh bother. Is that really doesn't work? Oh, that's a shame. Is there any way I can get this to work? Really doesn't look like it, does it? I think the angles just don't really... They're not really compatible. Which sucks. That really, really sucks. I don't want to do a curve here, which I might have to do. I don't think I can, to be honest. I think I might have to curve the... I don't want to curve the bridge. I like the big straight bridge we got going here. I don't know, man. I'm not really sure what to do here. Because it's right at the entrance of the city as well. I mean, I could try and throw a little one-way bit of track in here. And like curve it off to the side or something and be like, yo, let's go that way and then go that way. Because that actually works. Of course it does. We might have to go with that. As ridiculous as that looks, that might very well be what we have to do, here. Which, I'll be honest, annoys the hell out of me. Oh god, this bit's gonna be a nightmare as well, isn't it? Yeah, alright. Oh man, I really just wanted this to work. I don't want a train line that just like intersects the highway, so it has to be raised, you know? It's gonna have to curve. Or it's gonna have to curve at the end or something, I don't know. Let's get rid of the highway for a second and run the train line. We'll fix the highway afterwards. So that can go there, and then we're gonna start having this, we're actually gonna keep this raised, because it is gonna need to curve, like I said. So that's gonna go there. And then that's gonna go, there. And then obviously it's gonna curve around that hill, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So this cannot run the whole way across there. And this is going to have to... It's going to have to curve out and around, isn't it? It is going to have to straight up curve out and sort of around the bit of highway there, which is a total pain. So that needs to go there. And then needs to, like, curve that way. But that's a fairly steep curve, if we're being honest here. But, you know, to each their own, I suppose. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work, and it's gonna have to do. Yeah, that looks straight up ridiculous. That looks really, really dumb. Not sure if I'm a fan. Oh, wow, that's just gonna look silly as well. We'll just have that sort of go straight over the hill, I think. This is gonna need to cross that bit of highway as well. Joy of joys. You know what? It's not gonna have to cross nothing, because it's gonna go underground way back here. And that's gonna make my life so much easier. This is way back here. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. And it is gonna go down. Then it's gonna go under. To about there. Then it can come back up for a second. Like that. Then it's gonna continue above ground, because it actually can here, which is good. So it's gonna continue above ground for a little while. Then it's gonna go back under. Go to there. And then it's gonna come back up. And there we go. Train line. Beautiful. Done. Except for the fact that the highway is still disconnected. I don't know what the solution here is. But I'm thinking, for one, it's probably going to involve just intersecting the friggin' highway. Which sucks. It really, really sucks, because that's going to slow down traffic coming into the city via the only entrance that we have currently. But that's just going to be the way of it, because I really don't want to spend, you know, another however long working on this thing, because I've already spent a little while trying to figure this out. So that right there is going to be what we're dealing with. And now what we need to do is we need to bring this track along the whole way to there and a wee bit further. Then we're going to curve it out like that into there. This bit can be extended slightly. This bit can be extended slightly. And then we just need to line them up. There we go. That is a weird looking curve, but... well, I'll allow it. That's fine. So that right there is a connection. It's also slightly diagonal, which is annoying. Oh, that's annoying. That's unbelievably annoying. Yeah, we'll fix that next time. But that should allow some trains to come and go, which is actually a really good thing, because it means we're going to get some cargo that can go in and out of the city. So yeah, that's a good thing, despite what it may look like. That is a very good thing. We also still don't really have demand for anything down here, so I'm assuming there's a lot of areas that are still building and possibly still recovering from the great garbage wave and all of that. Let's get that out of here, and let's set the final landfill to empty. We're so close to be... oh, there's a train. There's a train coming in. He's got 100% load. Where's he going? He's going over there. That makes me very happy. Right there. That makes me very happy. So he's gonna unload everything and leave. Interesting that we're having some serious traffic problems, though. And by interesting, I mean kind of obvious, really, that we would be having some serious traffic problems here. I think what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to upgrade this road to have a few more lanes, possibly. Same with these ones over here. So get a few more lanes on those. That's going to let traffic move a little bit better. The traffic that wants to go to the highway can go to the highway. The traffic that doesn't want to go to the highway won't go to the highway. I think this can be upgraded as well to be, you know, a two-way road. And that'll let traffic split off a little bit better as well, I think. Little bit unnecessary having all the avenues up here, though, I will say. Little bit unnecessary, but we've still got the one-way roads here, and that's kind of a fairly important thing. So we'll see what we can do about this traffic next time. This episode's already been a lot longer than I planned it to be. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you kindly for watching. This has been City Skylines Mass Transit Part 8. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!